Hello bros, I'm Michael Test 0, Bro 5 Production. Next part, Sakura Succubus 4. So, we're gonna continue where we left off last time. We're teaching Cosmos how to swim. As far as I know, how to teach someone to swim when you're in the deep end of water is to actually have your hand about their stomach to hold them up. But I don't know how deep the water is here, so and then each body can float upon water quite easily. I'm doing it, I'm really doing it. Look at me, okay, I'm swimming. Cosmo stares at me expectantly as a puppy, or given the ears and head of a playful kitten. Well, the tail is gone. The tail isn't there. So, wait, did I just simply forget the tail, or was this actually intended? That's a good question, actually. But she has two ears. One ear there, and one cat ears. I think if someone actually use cosplay ears, they are supposed to cover up the other ears with hair. Otherwise it looks kind of weird. Or give them the ears and head of a playful kitten. They're suspended in the salty water, her fingers curled about mine. I hold her steady while she kicks her legs to and fro, shooting up the surf. I don't know what she's doing is swimming per se, but she's not sinking, which is a big improvement over the earlier attempts. Looks like she's gained a bit more confidence too. Previously, Cosmos squeaked and squatted whenever head dipped under the water, but now she seems to have accepted this as part of the swimming experience. Her brow is furrowed and her expression is determined. Her face might show off a lot of skin, but I don't know if she looks all that sexy right now. She's too graceless. She's pretty cute though. It's a bit of shame she took off the tail before stepping into the water. That would give her a look at extra layer of adorableness. The Sims 4. Sims 4 doesn't exist on Steam. At least not the last time I checked. But it probably get in the way. You're doing a great job. Keep going, Cosmos. If my hands weren't twined with hers, I give her a thumbs up. Do you think you can manage if I let go of you? Huh? Cosmos frowns, her confidence faltering. Why'd you got to do that? I'm swimming already, aren't I? You're in a sense, but you need to move your arms and your legs. It's no good if you only kick. But I only just gotten used to that. If I have to move my arms too, I think. I wasn't made to float. I'm a succubus, not a witch, and I'm not made of wood. I presume you don't weight the same as a duck either. No, I don't. Cosmo shakes her head emphatically. Her legs are still kicking. Droplets of water are thrown into the air and caught in the sunlight they shimmer rainbow colors. It's quite a pretty sight. At least it would be if it weren't for my attention not so fixed on Cosmo, who does not weight the same as a duck, and the earth is not made of wood and therefore cannot be a witch. If you let me go, I drown. I will drown. And I die. I'll never be able to do all the things I want to do. What do you want to do? All sorts. I've been reading cute romance manga and the couples there do loads of fun lovey-dovey stuff. I want to ride the back of a bike with you and go to the theme park and the zoo. I want to see an elephant or a giraffe. I can't die until then. Those are all pretty pure dreams. I kind of surprised. That's my fondly. Cosmo's fame might be built on the back of a skimpy outfit and scandalous poses, but she is rather innocent. Of all the Succubus sisters, was the one with the least dating experience before she met me. I'm the only guy she ever known intimately, and I think I'm the only guy she wants to know. No, apparently of her fans, she cares for them a damn sight more than IU does hers. Cosmo doesn't have any strong relationships with them. She draws a clear line between me and them. Her fans be undoubtedly angry if they found out about our close relationship, and I do worry when we may one day be discovered. But I think any potential fallout would be worthwhile so long as we can continue to spend time together. Well, don't worry, I won't let you die. If you start to sink, I pull you up to safety, I promise. Hiroki. Her eyes meet mine, her butterscotch irises wide and begulching. She still looks uncertain, but after a pause she smiles. Okay, I trust you. Just don't leave me. I wouldn't. I'm looking forward to our date to the zoo, too. You are? Well, yeah, I haven't been since I was a little kid, but, well, I smile sheepishly. I guess I'm still a kid at heart, who doesn't like gawping at the animals. Elephants are very interesting, like you said, and so are the giraffes. But I think I like the lions most of all. As for you, I pounded my fingers still curled upon Cosmos. I think you like the leopards, or maybe the alpacas. Oh, alpacas. Cosmos' eyes light up. Do they have those at the zoo too? They do. At the one my parents used to take me to. You could go check it out for yourself sometime, if you're so inclined. I love that. I love alpacas. They're so soft and fluffy. I have a lot of stuffed alpaca toys. Actually, my room is full of them. Oh yeah? I didn't know that as close as Cosmos and I are. I never actually been to the place. She always comes to mine instead. How many do you have? Almost 50. I collect them. And sometimes my fans send them to me as gifts. My favorite is huge. I can't even wrap my arms around her. And she has galaxy fur with the constellations all over it. That does sound pretty cute, though I doubt we find many galaxy alpacas at the zoo. Can you make do with normal run-of-the-mill alpacas? Don't be silly, Hiroki. Cosmos grins. Nothing is ordinary and run-of-the-mill with you. Now I'm really pumped. I can't die if you're going... if we're gonna go on this date. So I do my best to master swimming without sinking. And I cheer you on, can I let you go now? Right, I can take it. I won't let the ocean get the better of me. Okay then, give it your all. I uncover my hand from Costa, then step back. For a few moments things seem to be going well. Costa moves her arms and tandem with her legs as per instructions. The emotions are faltering, but she is able to keep her chin above water. I'm cautiously optimistic about Cosmos' progress, but then a wave breaks against her side and she seems to lose her cool. Yeah! Her arms stop moving, her legs stop kicking, and soon the water rushes over to claim her. It breaks over her legs and back, and her head dips beneath the waves once, twice. And then she disappears. Ah, jeez. I knew I was too good to be true. Don't worry, cousin, I won't let you down. Take off the alpacas. I think cousin with underarms and haul her upwards as a farmer might uproot a particularly large undulating turnip. Constance's head breaks the surface of the ocean, scattering water droplets everywhere. Her hair is plastered on her cheeks, which is flushed, and she straps off the bikini and starting to slide off on her shoulder. She's soaked from head to toe, but at least she isn't dead. That's always a plus. Are you okay? Can you breathe? I think so. Cock. Cause explodes, then explodes a mouthful of salty seawater. Some of this water douses me, but it doesn't suppose it matters. I'm already wet. That didn't go exactly as I hoped, but I think you're making progress. Hawk. Gradual progress. I glanced to the shore. Do you want to sit down? Maybe I should. I got a bit overconfident when you complimented me. I feel like I can do anything, but I should have known better. Cats aren't known for liking water. Neither do the alpacas. I think I'm a land mammal after all. Ifumi cooks us dinner when we return to our beach house after a long day spent enjoying the azure surf and the golden sands. She makes a bevy of traditional Japanese dishes with amounts of perfectly cooked fluffy rice alongside it, which is all incredibly delicious. I actually like rye and soy sauce, as long as it's a good soy sauce and not the rip-off kind that's kind of strange. I actually have a good soy sauce at home. I put it on noodles in the morning sometimes. It actually put a uniquely good taste to it. Once the pans have been scoured, the dishes washed, and the cutlery put away, the sun has already set. The moon is around as one of the diner plates high in the night sky, and the stars twinkle serenely. It's not as hot as it was during the day, but it's not cold either. It's a pleasant, picturesque kind of night. It'd be nice to go for a walk on the beach after sundown. But I'm stuffed after Ifumi's extravagant meal and tired after canvassing the beach during the day. I consider hitting the hay early, but a cheery proclamation from Hazel gives me pause. Hey everyone, listen up, I just got a really great idea. Coming from you, that seems unlikely. Ayo was hitherto engaged in time-consuming and trickling process of painting her toenails, looks up, frowning. You never have a single good idea in your life, let alone a great one. Though it pains me, I fear I must side with Ayo on this matter. You have energy in excess, but little in the way of intelligence. I doubt that any idea of yours would be worth listening to. Hey, don't be like that, just hear me out, okay? This idea of mine is really incredible, an amazing one. If you do say so yourself. Well, sure, yeah. But I bet you all agree with me once I hear what it is. As a clear as a throat, perhaps for dramatic effect, then announces with a toothy smile, since it's the summer and we're all on vacation, we got to tell ghost stories. It's a human tradition, and though we're not humans, it would not hurt to honor their customs. That's actually on camping trips, not because they're on holiday. Well, it's true. Hazel doesn't have much in the way of intellect. I'm sure Hiroki here can confirm this for me. 5 pairs of eyes swerve to me in unison, pinning me in place. Tired though I am, I can't possibly slink off to my room now. Everyone is waiting on me for an answer, and I don't want to let them down. Being Mr. Popular can be kind of hard sometimes. Not that I mind too much. Yeah, Hazel's right about that. Actually, it's pretty standard for people to tell ghost stories in the summer. I did a bunch back when I was a kid, when my class went camping trips. We wait until the cheeses went to sleep, and then we huddled together in our sleeping bags and tell spooky stories. It was pretty fun. Yeah, you see? I knew I wasn't mistaken about this. I did a whole bunch of research about summer vacation before I came here, and spooky stories are a must. They are on the same tier as fireworks and beach volleyball, if not higher. My. You certainly seem enthused about this. Well, yeah, I am. I got a whole bunch of spooky stories lined up already. They'd be great for scaring the pants set are you? Or skirts off ya. Let's work on a cold sweat together. It'd be a good bonding exercise. As if. In case you've forgotten, Hazel, I'm an idol. We are pure, perfect beings, and we most certainly do not sweat. You don't? Of course I don't. It would sully my image. I'm surprised your rotten attitude doesn't do that already, haha. What was that? Nothing. I was thinking to myself, haha. And yet, despite that, you were being awfully loud. I decided and crossed his arms. If you must think on shortly things about your betters, it would behove you to do so within the confines of your own skull. That way you'll be less likely to cause offense. That's a good point. So what about my plan? Do you all want to join in? It'd be a super fun horror extravaganza. Full of blood, guts and gore. My stories be guaranteed to make at least one of you scream, or you get a full refund. And I'll pay you regardless, you foolish woman. And I have no interest in squatting and shrieking over old silly made-up stories like Bonobo Monkey. Actually, half of the ghost stories I've ever heard on the internet is actually true. And a certain amount of them actually have proof of it also. If you want to scare me, you have to do your worst. So is that a yes? Do you want to join in? I suppose I might as well. It will pass the time, though I warn you, I'm not easily scared. I'm a sensible, level-headed woman. Fantasy monsters cannot frighten me. They are far less ominous than my more dedicated fans. I've scrolled through a few of my fan forums, and the things people say, they're beggar belief. I shudders. Nothing would disturb me more than all the inflation fluctuation and unwittingly stumbled across featuring yours truly. Oh, I think I might have read some of those fics myself, actually. Why have you been reading fanfics about me? Why not? I like to take an interest in your activities, are you? Isn't that what friends do? I'm not your friend, you imbecile. I tolerate you, but that doesn't mean I like you. And I do not want to looking up perverse fan works of me. Well, this is technically a perverse story, so... Oh, it's a little funny. It's disturbing. It's okay, I don't think any less of you cause of it, are you? Besides, there's a bunch of weird fan art and fanfic of me too. Nothing can shock me now. You say that, but my horror stories have been fermenting in my head for a while. They're incredibly potent now, like a kimchi. Do you think you can handle the cosmos? Yes, I can. That sounds like fun. I too think its proposition is a charming one. I'm very fond of ghost stories. Yumi Keisuke is one of my favorite authors. I love the eerie atmosphere that prevails in the majority of his stories. I'm not so sure about this myself. Marina, who has been oddly quiet during the exchange, now speaks up. Frowning, she says, "Is that like a waste of time? Horror stories, as we all know, are nothing but nonsense. There are vastly more important things in this world to discuss than silly fantasy scrads." That is true enough, but you could say that of any work of fiction, they are imaginative works. But it does not make them less worthy than documentaries or biographies. Indulging in fiction can allow one to experience a wide gamut of emotions all the while in the comfort of one's home. They can be more edifying and relaxing too. You ought to try it, Marina. You might enjoy it. I doubt that very much, but well... Marina closed a strand of white hair about her one finger, her brow furrowed. I suppose I can give it a chance. You all seem enthused about it, and I would not wish to spoil your fun. Alright, now we're 4 for 5. What about you, Yuka? Do you want to listen too? Sure, I'm game. I don't have any problems with horror stories. Great, let's get started then. First, I got to dim the lights for dramatic effects. Hazel turns off the lights in her living room, then thus plugging us into darkness. Now I want to paint you a picture using nothing but my voice. Close your eyes and let my story wash over you. It's time to step onto your worst nightmare. Of course. Once upon a time, not so very long ago, there was a cute but scatterbrained music student. We call him, how about Azusa? Azusa was a cheerful girl, but she had a secret, which she nursed with her breast like a flickering flame. She was passionately and irreversibly in love with the campus idol, Mamiko. Mamiko was a beautiful girl from a wealthy family with all of the affections of affluence. She wore expensive clothes, sprayed herself with floral perfume, and her hair was neatly teased into curls. She could play numerous instruments, her essays received the highest praise, and she was the darling of all the faculty, and most of the students' body too. Azusa knew when first she laid eyes upon Mamiko that she had to have her for her own. But the social standings were so disparate, Azusa feared Mamiko would never return her feelings. Azusa was cast into the drums of blank despair. But while she wallowed, a rumor began to spread around campus. According to the rumor, one needed only to take a candid photograph of her dear beloved and text it to a mysterious woman called Venus. Then the pair would be bounded together for all eternity. Okay, this is another Sakura then. I first realized that now. I should have realized that earlier technically, because I think the stories are actually, the names are actually the same. Well, that was not a horror story. Unless they actually go for her face. That face was, well, let's just say scary. Azusa did not believe in fairy tales. She was dense, but not a woolly stupid, but was so desperate she would have tried anything. Sneakily, she took a photo of Mamiko and sent it to the woman called Venus. But after that, things began to go horribly wrong. Tell me, you don't have to do that. You could actually get together with the friend of yours. If you do the right choices, half the story disappears. Actually, more than half the story. It ends like 5 seconds. It ends like 10 minutes after you would have technically gotten together with Mamiko. So, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I was late at night when Azusa's phone began to beep. The sound jolted her awake to the bedroom, darker than an abyss. Eyes wide, her hair rumbled. Azusa reached for the phone. She took a bat wings, her trembling fingers, her pounding all the while, for she knew who it was who had messaged her. It was Venus. Azusa read through Venus' reply once, twice, and then she felt her heart constrict within her chest. Venus' message read as thus: Thank you, foolish girl, for sending me a photograph of your beloved. She truly is adorable, though I fear she shall not be for much longer. I am a fair witch, and I shall use my power to bind you, as per the rumors. It would not do to go back upon my word, but alas, I will not let you get what you want that easily. Are you not familiar with the age-old saying that one ought to be careful what they wish for? If you truly love this woman, you would confess to her on your own, but you did not. You were cowardly and hoped instead to ensnare her with magic. This cannot go unpunished. My powers are great, and with it you shall get what you want, but not in the manner you envisioned. Mamiko's soul shall be mine, but her body is yours. You may do with it as you will for all eternity until it begins to rot, but she will not be the woman you remember. Her essence now belongs to me. She is not but a husk, and she will haunt you for the rest of your days. Can you not hear me, foolish Azusa? She is coming to you, this very moment, dragging her feet behind her. As I type, she is standing outside your home, and soon she'll begin to knock. As you may imagine, Azusa was terrified by this message. She gripped her phone in her hands, curled up on her bed, and tried to console herself. Surely it was some prank done by a bad tail. It was unthinkable that her Mamiko could have been cursed, all thanks to a single photograph. Azusa thought of texting her childhood friend Mary for reassurance despite the lateness of the hour. But no sooner than she had begun to scroll through her contact list, she heard it. A knock. She was only one knock at first, but it was low, ominous, and it startled Azusa, so she dropped her phone upon the mattress. Her heart constricted in her chest as though squeezed by a glacial hand, and her blood ran ice cold. Perhaps the message had not been a joke after all. Eunice had promised Mamiko would come to her, sounded her teeth in the night, and rap upon her door. And here she was, as Venus had stated. It was too precious to be a mere coincidence, and too late for Azusa to receive any other visitors. The sky beyond her bedroom window was black as pitch. Even the stars and the moon seemed to have been extinguished. They actually use this night and daytime sky very much in all the Sakuras now more. There was no light in Azusa's room, nor any hope. Perhaps Azusa told herself, if I sit very still and very quiet, the person outside my door will go away. But they did not. Another knock rippled through the darkness in Azusa's home, unwinding the air like thread. Then there came another, and another. The knocking grew more insistent with the passing seconds, while Azusa grew more and more fearful. Her heart was beating so hard now she feared it might rupture within her breast. She did not want to answer the door, but she feared if she refused the interloper would split it open like a walnut, then there would have been even less obliged to listen to reason. Nobody liked being kept up out in the cold, not even monsters. All right, I'm coming. I'll let you in, so please don't hurt me. I never wanted this to happen. Azusa rose from her bed with trembling legs, then crossed her dark bedroom. Her floorboards creaked beneath her weight, dark and sinister, and all the while the knocking continued. It echoed within her ears over and over, threatening to drive her to madness. Azusa's apartment was a small one, with only 2 rooms. She had lived there for a year, and it was as familiar to her as her own palm. But in the dark she stumbled. Everything looked strange and shadowy, and even her rice cooker upon the counter made her start. Her whole body was numb. The knocking continued over and over until our intrepid but stupid young heroine reached the front door, where her shoes were lined up like Russian dolls. She swallowed, then she reached out. I'll let you in, so please don't curse me, don't hate me. I only did this because I love you. I'm so sorry, Mamiko. As her fingers caught upon the door handle, it was shockingly cold, so much so it seemed to drain the warmth from her skin. She turned the door, the lock clicked, and it drew back, to reveal a shambling figure that defied Susa's comprehensions. It was Mamiko, but at the same token it was not. Her hair, normally so perfect, fell in a tangle about her shoulders, obscuring much of her face. Her eyes were shrouded in darkness, but her mouth was twisted in a look of despair. Her skin was white as chalk, with white as death, and as she stumbled forth, Azusa drew back, aghast, finally aware of what she had done. Venus, whoever she was, had cast an awful enchantment upon her Mamiko. She had, with nothing more than a photo, stripped all that was human from the prim and proper young lady, transfiguring her into something awful, something evil. No. Oh God, no. As Susa stumbled, she tripped and hit the floor with a dull thud which could not break the pall of eerie silence. Mamiko, is that really you? Mamiko did not say anything. Perhaps she could not. She only drew closer, arms outstretched as she made to fold Azusa to her, to take her. Mamiko, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Azusa whimpered helplessly, tears beating in her eyes. It seemed as she sat there staring at the thing which had once been Mamiko, that there were the only two people left in all the world. She could scream if she had breath, but who would hear her? Who would save her? She had been plunged into a nightmare, and she knew as she felt Mamiko's finger close about her wrist, her carrion breath rasping in lifeless upon her cheek, that she would never ever wake up. So, what do you think? Heather concludes her tale with a self-satisfied grin, leaning back upon the couch with one leg crossed. That was pretty spooky, huh? Well, I wonder. If Umi would have taken the mantle as a resident or expert, folds her own expression thoughtful. I suppose your tale contained a lot of aspects of classic horror story, though I cannot help but feel a touch of disappointment at its conclusion. How so? Do you think it was gory? It wasn't gory enough. I could have had zombie Mamiko tear point the teeth straight through Azusa's throat, all gore and gra. Hazel dives at you who's sitting beside her and begins to tickle her, to which Ayus shrieks. Get off me, you moron! You're going to wrinkle my clothes. Sorry, but I can't. I'm too busy being a zombie. We don't have brains, so we can't listen to orders. All we know is blood. Now give me that the goods. You've been getting no goods from me, idiots. Stop that. No way. Don't touch me there. That's... Ayu giggles, pinned beneath the couch and weight of Hazel's body as our storyteller runs the hands beneath the hem of her shirt. Hazel! Ayu lashes out, one last feet catching Hazel in the stomach. Oof. Hazel's stomach might be toned, but Ayu legs are lean and depictably muscular, trained off the years of perfecting complex dance routines. Hazel recalls breathless and cradles her belly. Panting heavily, she brushes a few loose strands of hair behind her ear, then she smiles. You might look cute, but you give as good as you get. Guess that's Ayu for you. If any zombie try to eat you, you knock them flying. Of course, I'm not be trifled with. Please remember that the next time you try to attack me. You might not be so lucky to escape with your head attached to your shoulders. Darn, she looks like a flower, but she is sure as heck stings like a bee. I gotta remember that. Kinda like my head where it is. I don't wanna end up like Azusa. Hazel giggles. So what were you saying about my story for me? Do you think it better if there was some more blood and gore? It's quite the opposite, in fact. I think you were tipped too much off your hand. The way you built suspense was commendable, but it all fell apart when Mamik was revealed to be the one at the door. If it were me, I would have ended up the story before the big reveal. It is often better to keep the reader, or in this case the listener, guessing, particularly in horror. Well, when it comes to that, I can't bear cliffhangers that never come to a conclusion. It makes me angry, actually. I never like cliffhangers to last for too long. Often our imagination can conjure up scenarios more horrifying than words ever could. So you're not in the blood and guts and gore camp. There is a time and place for it, but it's not that sort of horror I prefer. I like solid squinching stories with flickering lights and ambient noises, ghosts and metalcore spirits of fort, not blood-soaked zombies or serial killers. Please don't tell me I have to read another horror story at least. I guess I should have figured as much. Let me guess, you're a fan of the creepy abandoned shrines too. But of course, I'm very partial to them. I knew it. And what about the rest of you? Do you like my story? Hazel looked at me expectantly, her eyes wide. I guess she is waiting for feedback. What should I say? Well, you kind of a rip-off of the stories the Sakura creators did before. At least a bit of it is a rip-off. So, I mean, if it was me, I would have gone the opposite way. Made something short but completely new. That would actually have been more fun. I say it needs a bit of work. I think the story could use a bit of refining, Hazel. You really think so? Does that go without saying? Her pipes up, her eyes narrowed. I thought your story was downright ridiculous. Who could ever be frightened of such nonsense? The story sounded kind of familiar. Yeah! I heard of Azusa and Mamiko before. They're characters from Yuri visual novel I had once before. They could actually say Sakura visual novel because they're their own creations, so it wouldn't actually be wrong. I haven't cosplayed Azusa before. Oh, good catch. Hazel whistles. I didn't think anybody else be into girl-on-girl loving like I am. I figured it'd be fly under your radar. I'm not into it myself, but I like cute girls and I like visual novels. I read a lot of different ones. I read all of them. Because they all actually on a website where they actually put up every single novel they made. And I read all of them, even the one that wasn't called Sakura. Oh, you had to admit you stole your story, Hazel. I knew you were scummy, but I didn't think you were a plagiarist. That's a crime, you know. Hey, Hazel pouts. I ain't a crime so long as you don't get caught, and besides, there's so many stories out there, it's hard to be wholly original. That sounds like an excuse to me. It ain't an excuse. I changed the story up a whole bunch. But you did use somebody else's characters. Why not? I'm bad at thinking up names. Hazel's story was quite unlike the original. In the visual novel I read, Mamiko's soul wasn't stolen and she didn't turn into a zombie. She was actually a sadist, kind of like Marina, and she built Azusa, but Azusa was a masochist and she liked it, and they had a happy ending. There wasn't anything creepy about it. There, you see, it's totally different. I don't know if you improved it though. I like stories with happy endings. I take it you're not a fan of horror. It's fine, but I want Azusa and Mamiko to be happy together. I could care one way or the other. Personally, it's not like any of it is real. It doesn't really matter. I rolls her eyes and rises her feet. Now I think I'm going to bed. Are you tired, are you? I'm tired of hearing stupid ghost stories, and I don't want to be tickled again. Night. I released the room and and Hifumi and Cosmos soon follow suit. Now it's only Hazel, Marina, and I in the living room. So what do you think? Hazel looks at Marina, who have been very quiet throughout the evening. Did you like my story, Marina? What? Oh, Marina blinks, startled, and shakes her head. It might be my imagination, but I think I can see the faint beginning of a blush upon her face. It was fine, I suppose. You suppose? But you don't know? Weren't you listening to me, Marina? Of course I was, though I fear I did not all stick. I was otherwise occupied thinking about stocks. Why stocks? Stocks are very, very important. The success of my company is based upon them. I cannot help but think of them. I'm really quite alright, so please don't ask any further questions. Now I must go to bed. When I get to her feet, perhaps a bit too quickly, she almost stumbled, but she able to right herself at the last minute. Good night, you two. Don't stay up too late. And, Hiroki? I hope you don't have any bad dreams. Marina's voice is softer than usual, almost motherly. Looks she affixes me with one of her genuine concern, so compassionate it warms my heart. Her exterior might be cold and hard, but deep down Marina is a huge sweetheart. Thanks, but I think I'll be fine. I've seen worse horror movies than that. It's a story really wasn't all that scary. It wasn't? Not really. Why? Did it bother you? No, of course not. I'm too mature to let such silly tales bother me. I was simply concerned for your sake. Now, I must go. Good night, dear Hiroki. Okay, I can see maybe why that could bother her. Maybe. Yeah, good night. Fortunately, as Marina departed and trembled in legs, my arms folded. Now I knew I wasn't imagining. Marina really was blushing, and she was stuttering too. This is almost a bit un-Marina-like behavior. I'm starting to get curious. She's not afraid of ghosts, is she? What a day. I sighed to myself as I turn over beneath my covers. It's late at night and I'm exhausted, but I can't sleep. My Succubus entourage are running me ragged, what with their inflating and all their demands. But I care for each of them, and I'm happy I was able to go on holiday with them. It's been a lot of fun. I hope we can spend even more time together tomorrow. I yawn again and put my covers about me like a cocoon. Blanketed by the darkness, everything is still and quiet. I can hear faintly the sound of the waves as they lap against the shore, but the seabirds are absent. They must be fast asleep by now. I feel I should follow in their suit, but though I close my eyes, I still can't nod off. I start counting sheep, hoping this will help, but... I saw a stall at my 7 sheep, distracted by the wrapping of knuckles. I actually tried counter sheep. It doesn't do anything. It's a total heap of bullshit. There's somebody at my bedroom door. For a brief moment, thinking about Hazel horror story and zombified Mamiko, but it's Marina. Hiroki, I'm sorry to disturb you, but I wanted to see you. Are you awake? But the voice which accompanies the knocking, nothing like the glowing groaning of a blood-eyed zombie. I recognize that voice. Marina. I knew it. Yes, it's me. Please pardon my intrusion. Can I come in? Sure, you can, and don't worry, I hadn't fallen asleep yet anyway. You're not disturbing me. Thank goodness. I'm so glad. Okay, she's in Succubus attire for some reason. Marina exhales in relief and lets herself inside. She closes the door with a soft click, careful not to cause too much noise when turns to face me. That doesn't matter because it's a heavy industrial metal door that slams shut no matter what. It still sounds like that. I mean, come on. Even I can make better sound effects than that, even without actually using a door. It's as easy as that. Just click with your tongue. It's not harder than that. Her bronze skin seems to blend in with the darkness, but her ivory hair stands out, flickering flame atop a tallow candle. She isn't wearing her white sundress, and neither is she in her pajamas. She is clad instead in her Succubus attire, though for what reason I cannot fathom. Do you usually sleep like that? The horns look like they get in the way, not to mention the wings. Sometimes I do. In the Succubus realm, it's expected there. But as a human, I generally dispense with them, even at night. So you dress like that because it's a bit embarrassing, but well, when I caught the press the tips of our index fingers together, I thought it best to spend the night like this, just in case. In case what? In case anything bad happens. If my Succubus form, it'd be easier for me to fight off any enemies. What enemies? I frown. This is Ayu's private beach. We're only people here. Nobody else is allowed to stay here, not without Ayu's express permission. The house is pretty well hidden too. It seems unlikely this place be broken into. It is not thieves I'm worried about. They are mere humans who can be dispensed of as easily as stubbing out a cigarette. I'm more worried about Marina mumbles something, but her voice is so quiet I can't hear her. What was that? I beckon Marina to me, and she comes standing by my bedside with interlinked hands and anxious eyes. What you worried about? It is... Marina pauses, inhales. Silly, very silly in fact. I know I'm being foolish, but I can't help myself. I've been horribly on edge ever since I heard Hazel's silly story, though I'm only too aware of its nonsensical. I don't believe in ghosts or monsters, and yet, and now I think I understand why Marina came to me. My earlier guess was right on the money. You really are afraid of ghosts. Marina steps back abashed, her cheeks burned cherry red, much like her Succubus attire. It is really that obvious. It was kind of obvious, yeah. I could tell you weren't acting like quite yourself tonight. It's all sort of when Hazel brought up ghost stories. You were all distracted and you were mere stammering. I've never seen you like that before. Oh no. Marina sighs, her shoulder slumps. You don't think the others realized, do you? I don't think they did, no. I was more focused on degenerating Hazel than examining you, and Hazel not the most perceptive of people. There's a chance if Umi may have noticed. I would not be surprised if she did. She knows me better than the rest. But she is discreet. I doubt she tease you about it. Well, that's a relief. I would not be able to stand it if an awful Ayu knew about this. My reputation would be ruined. She would never take me seriously again. Marina blinks at me from beneath her eyelashes. You won't tell anybody about this, will you, Hiroki? Well, I could technically choose the first answer, but that's blackmail. And one person actually tried to blackmail me once. I told her to turn it around. I just said, do it. I encouraged the person to actually do what they said we would do if I didn't pay them. I encouraged them so much, but they never did it, which is kind of taken away the fun of it. But I'm not a person with a blackmail or a scam or anything like that ever. I'm honest, and I'm always going to be. Of course I won't, I'm a gentleman. Of course not. Your secret's safe with me. Thank goodness, I'm happy you know it. Of course I never doubted you, but I fear I made myself look foolish. I hope you're not judging me. It's pretty unexpected, I admit, but I don't think any less of you because of it. We all have phobias, and they're not always logical. I think anacrophobic is when you're afraid of spiders, and that's what I am then. I'm not sure about the word, but I'm afraid of spiders. Not the small one, but the bigger they are, the more scary they are. And that's my problem. I don't really like insects myself, especially spiders. There's something about their long spindly legs. I shudder. They're so gross. That's not very manly, but it's not no matter. I dislike bugs myself. A few people are fond of them, apart from Cosmos perhaps. Does she like bugs? I don't know what that girl likes. Her tastes are all so unusual. She is perplexing, but at least she is relatively good natured. I don't not think she would mock me if she knew the truth. But I would vastly prefer if nobody found out. I'm Atsuki Marina, the well-respected businesswoman. I know for my solid decision-making skills and my level-headed nature. It would not do if it got out that I'm afraid of monsters. It might be bad for your public image, yeah, but it's fine if you want to confide the stuff to me. In fact, I'm glad you came to me for comfort. I like feeling useful. I listen to anything you have to say, Marina, and I want more cues, so don't worry. You don't need to be afraid when you're with me. Now, put my covers back, then pass the empty space beside me. Do you want to spend the night with me? I can keep you safe. Oh, Hiroki. Marina's face floats with gratitude. She is places one hand upon her bosom, which is heaving, and smiles. I knew I could rely on you. This is why you are my darling above all others. You are such a good, kind man. Nah, nothing special. I'm just doing what anybody would. Well, would turn down the opportunity to spend the night with a babe like you. You might have a point there. I'm just renowned for my looks, as I am business acumen. But you are only one who wishes to lie with me. You are my dear Hiroki, and when I'm with you I never feel afraid. Not of bugs or monsters. You got no need to worry on the score. I scare them all off for you, I promise. Marina slides into bed beside me, then cuddles to me. She rests her head upon my chest and winds her arms around my waist, her silvery hair fanning across the pillows. I pull a blanket over us, then nuzzle against her. When I inhale, I smell the scent of Marina's shampoo. It has a pleasant, fruity aroma which puts me at ease. My eyelids begin to drop, I yawn, then I fall fast asleep. And picture in the morning, I guess? Hey, Hiroki, wake up, Hiroki. Aroused very early in the following morning by a chipper voice, and yet it's almost draining. In the face of all this cheeriness, I feel more tired than ever before. Yawning, I crack both eyes open, and soon I have blink away the white spots with the blow before my vision. Oh, there was Hazel instead. It is a few moments for my vision to focus. But when it does it, a familiar face comes into view. Hess is looming over me, her ponytail brushing my cheeks. Her fingers are curled about my shoulders, but she draws away when my eyes open and beams. Hello there, sleeping beauty. Are you feeling good? Tired. I yawn again and turns over in my bed. Can't you give me a few more minutes? No way. It's too important to wait. Why? What is it? My boss doesn't want me to come into the office, does he? Forget about your boss. I'm here to be your exercise fairy, to take exercise fairy, to take care of your health. I groaned. I was afraid this might happen. Hazel takes her health and that of others very seriously, which I suppose is a good thing. But I came here to relax, not work up a sweat. I rather idle away my hours in the beach, sipping cocktails like Marina. Speaking of which, where's Marina? I swear I slipped into my bed last night, gorged in the Succubus outfit, but I can't see a hide nor hair of her this morning. Did she really come into my bed, or was that a dream? It certainly doesn't seem very Marina-like to seek shelter in my arms after listening to silly horror stories. I can't remember all the finer points of Hazel's yarn, but I can recall it being all that blood-curdling. Now, don't you me, mister? Hazel takes my shoulders again, then turns me over so I'm facing her. Why don't you come jogging with me just once? You never know, you might like it. I'm very certain that I won't. I already have to get up the crack of dawn and sprint to the train so I can get to the office on time. It's not fun or interrogating, it's stressful. Well, yeah, but that's cause you're not jogging for the love of it. Exercising for the sake of exercising is a way different best of running for a train. I'll show you how to limber up first so you don't put too much strain on your muscles and let you go off your own pace. We can take a scenic route around the beach. It's super pretty here, and I point out all the sights. We'll only be half an hour tops. We might get back if Umi breakfast wait for us, and I swear her miso soup will taste better than ever on the back of vigorous workout. You really feel like you earned it. Come on, Hiroka. Hazel shakes me again, even more intensely than the last time. Keep a girl company, why don't you? It's such a lovely morning. It's a shame to waste it. Let's go, have some fun. For all Hazel welding, I doubt going jogging will be fun. Some people are made for exercise, and I, alas, am not one of them. My stamina is decent, I guess, but I don't see the point of jogging. You have to gasp for air, you get all sweaty, and if you're not careful, you can turn ankle. People who go jogging for fun are strange. Alien breed to me even more so than Succubus. I never understand them. I don't see why anybody would want to make themselves miserable when life is already so stressful. Her proposition is not an attractive one, but she sure is being insistent. Please, Hiroki, please, please, please. I just want to spend more time with you. I'm glad she wants to spend time with me so much, but I'm so not in the mood for this. This. What should I do? Begrudgingly accept. Alright, fine. Eventually cave after a brief pause. I'll come along with you, but only once, you hear? I don't want to make it a habit of it, and I don't want to spend the rest of my mornings sweating into my miso soup. Yay, thank you, Hiroki. Hazel leans in and presses a quick kiss on my mouth. You're the best, I love you. You're only saying that because I gave you what you want. That's true, I guess. But I'm not materialistic like you. I don't want gold or jewels. I only want to be with you. Crap. That was so sweet, I think I'm going to have a heart attack, and I've not even gotten out of bed yet. The rest of the day does not bode well. Now, why did I agree to this again? Because I am in control of this world. That was actually a little bit funny what I did. But that's it for this episode then. So that was all I have for Sakura Succubus for this time. So hit like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.